guys, what's up? This is Casey DeFreitas with IGN, and we were just at a preview event where we got to play the first about 15 hours of Monster Hunter World. So all the way from the very beginning, we got to create our character and play up until just about the 4-star boss. It was really awesome. So today we're just going to walk you through a quest from start to finish, how to prepare for it, and just get you familiar with the flow of how Monster Hunter World will play, and specifically we'll be fighting a Pukei-Pukei today. So, as every good hunter knows, you always have to go to the canteen before you head off onto a quest to eat a really filling meal to get stat buffs. So these can be health, stamina, defense, even attack, elemental resistances. You can really get a very large variety of effects from eating, and they're always different. And this guy, the Meowscular Chef, and his feline crew makes the meal for you, and it's really cute, and I always enjoy watching this little cutscene, but you can skip it if you want. Final touch. And now we're running over to the quest board to accept that quest. And then we're going to go check our armor, maybe check our field notes to see what the Togekidachi is weak to, etc., etc. And one of the cool things about Monster Hunter World is that when you are done, you don't have to go all the way to the village gate to leave. You can leave on the quest from wherever you want, and a winged drake will come and pick you up. Alright, so now we've begun the quest, and this is actually the beginning of the Pukei-Pukei quest, not the Togekidachi. Sorry about that. But of course, the first thing you have to do is go to the supply box and pick up some supplies. Now, if you can see, there are 4 of each of these items. Don't take more than you need, because then you'll be taking one of your party members' things, and that's not nice. And in this particular quest, I forgot to eat in the village, which we did a lot, so I'm very thankful for this very new feature where we can eat at camp. You can also change your equipment at camp. It's really nice to not have to exit all the way out of a quest and have everything load again, to have to go eat or change your equipment, or because you forgot whetstones. And speaking of whetstones, they are infinitely in your item pouch now. So now I'm just using the scout flies to try and find a Pukei-Pukei. And because I had previously fought him, I kind of had an idea of where it might be, and I found him right away. So now I'm just signaling to my friends, letting them know that, hey, the Pukei-Pukei is here. As you can see on the mini-map at the bottom left, there's a little ping going off. And I'm just waiting because fighting monsters alone is scary and a little bit more difficult. So I'm trying to call for help. I was trying to go for the tail there because it's always imperative to get the tail off, and it's kind of the Blade Master's job because it does slicing damage, which is what you need to cut off body parts of a monster. So after following the scout flies for a while, we find the Pukei-Pukei again, and it has flown up a little bit higher. There's a lot of elevation in the ancient forest, so you kind of have to pay attention to more than just the map, because there are multiple different levels where the monster could be. And of course it flies up as soon as I get down here. So you always need to be aware of your surroundings, which I am not doing in this clip right here, as you'll see in a moment. Yeah, it can knock you off. Luckily you don't take fall damage, but still, I felt really not smart at that moment. There it goes back down. So of course I'm gonna follow it, and I missed. So if you hit a monster on the way down like that, you can mount it, which is a little bit of what you saw at the very beginning of this video. and you can use a charge slash and do a lot of damage, knock it over, and it's pretty cool to land it from all the way up there. But it flew away. So we're going to go back up following the scout flies and try to relocate the Pukei-Pukei. And as you can see, I am picking up every little track that the Pukei-Pukei is leaving behind, because the more samples you get, the better your field guide will be on that monster. So you'll learn its weaknesses, its resistances, and also what it drops and how likely it is to drop those items. And I'm also stopping at this bone pile because I was specifically looking for ancient bones to upgrade my equipment. And then I got to see this really awesome Rathalos just right here. So of course I had to stop and watch it because it's so cool, and I'm not going to engage it because it would probably kill me in one fireball. So I just looked at it in wonder. And now I'm going to go back to the Pukei-Pukei, which will probably not kill me. So sometimes I totally put myself at risk to try and get these big hits in, and a lot of times it doesn't always pan out for me, especially when another big monster like this Grey Jagras comes into the fray completely unexpectedly. And it's really cool, but it's also a lot more dangerous for us for both monsters to be around, even though it is kind of nice to get that extra damage on the Pukei-Pukei from the Grey Jagras. So I try to keep my distance, because predicting two monsters' movements at the same time is really hard. And one could knock you over and the other one could attack you in 2 hits, and then you'd just be done. So here one of my party members, Tigressa, mounted the Pukei-Pukei and knocked it over. So we're all trying to go for the tail to knock it over, and of course that Grey Jagras comes in and wrecks my day. So we weren't even able to take advantage of the knockdown. But the Jagrases, again, risking it for the biscuit, but this time it paid off. I got some really big hits into it, knocked it back a little, it disrupted its pattern, and now it's really angry. You can kind of tell that from the steam coming out of its mouth. Of course, I'm going for a bone pile again because, like I said before, I was looking for those ancient bones to upgrade my equipment, and the Pukei-Pukei absolutely took advantage of it. I really feel like the AI in this game is much better because I always feel like I'm singled out when I'm doing something that isn't specifically fighting the monster. So if I'm taking a potion or trying to scoop up tracks or other random things that you'll find in the environment, I feel like I get targeted. Which is a good thing, because the monster should absolutely take advantage of you when you're not paying attention. And it's off, and we have to track it again. So Joe looks like he's swinging his hunting horn at nothing, but actually he is playing some specific notes to give us buffs.
Yeah, you've mounted the monster. Now's your chance to topple it.
And I know you're seeing a lot of button prompts come up during this playthrough, especially while I'm mounted on the Pukei-Pukei, but that is not a permanent thing. You can actually turn those off entirely, so it's not going to be cluttering up your screen all the time, and it'll naturally, organically just stop appearing once you get further in the game and have mounted monsters more. So the more you do something, the less likely the prompts will come up. And there I got that charge slash on the tail, still attempting to cut it off because one of the best things to carve is the tail, which gives you some material that you can't always get from just killing and carving the monster or for quest rewards. So you always want to try and break as many pieces off the monster as you can. And there my sword keeps bouncing off of the Pukei-Pukei's tail, and it's because, I don't know if you can see, but in the top left corner, an image of my sword is flashing, and that's because my sharpness is low, and I really need to use a whetstone to sharpen up my blade. Now I'm using my slinger to shoot red pits at it, and unfortunately those aren't powerful enough to knock it from the air, but they can get the monster's attention sometimes. And it just got away from that big swing, unfortunately. And I'm going to take this short lull in the action to use a whetstone to sharpen up my sword because I don't want to bounce off and do nothing anymore. Yeah, gathering in Monster Hunter World is super streamlined. You can just run and pick things up as you go. It's really, really nice. And there I broke its wing with that swing. Did not mean for that to rhyme. I'm sorry. And there you see one of my party members chopped off the Pukei-Pukei's tail. I'm over here healing. I'll bit up. And now it's limping, so you can tell that when a monster limps and gives other signs like drools, you can tell kind of what it's feeling. And when it limps, it's really close to going down. So once it starts limping and flying away to its home, per se, that's when you want to capture it if you're trying to capture it. And that's also when you know it's really close to going down permanently. So we found the Pukei-Pukei, and it is eating something and basically restoring its health, which is why when a monster gets away, especially if it's limping, you really can't let it just do whatever it wants, because it'll heal up that damage that you spent so much time inflicting on it. And these quests, they are time limited, though they're not prohibitively restrictive. It can kind of sneak up on you if you're wandering around doing stuff besides inflicting damage on the monster. Especially if you try and take down another big monster during the same quest, it can really sneak up on you and make you fail the quest by time limit. But if you are semi-focused, like I was in this quest, you should be able to defeat a monster, no problem. And by no problem, I mean within the time limit if you are wearing adequate armor and know when to take potions and don't take stupid risks. Then you should definitely be able to take down the monster. And I know the Pukei-Pukei is really close to going down, but like I said, you don't want to take stupid risks, especially when it's so close to going down, because respawning at camp when the monster just goes down will probably prevent you from getting to the body in time to carve it, and that sucks. And going through all of this trouble to get materials, to make new armor and make better weapons, and then not be able to get some of it, don't risk it. Just keep your health up, use potions, and you'll be fine. So I was really excited when I found this Vespoid, because usually when you hit them with a big sword like mine, they actually break into pieces and you can't carve them, and Monster Fluid was really important in some previous Monster Hunter games and were also very difficult to get, much more than they have been in the recent iterations, but it still was happy to find that Monster Fluid just lying around for the taking. And of course, after completing the quest, you get quest rewards, and this is one of the reasons why you really need to focus on breaking all of the monster's parts, because the more you do, the more bonus rewards you get and the better quest rewards you get. And you also get these really cool hunter highlights, which tells you a little about what you did best during the quest. So here we see Joe was a support all-star and did 29 buffs and heals. It was really great, and sometimes you'll get most parts broken, best monster tracker, things like that. So that is the full Monster Hunter quest from start to finish, and it's kind of the flow of Monster Hunter World that you'll get into. You prepare for the quest, you go out with your friends, you defeat it, you get material, you'll go back to the town and make new and better stuff to go fight new and stronger monsters. And for more Monster Hunter World, definitely check out our full Monster Hunter World preview, and for everything else, stick with IGN.